When the COVID crash hit, someone asked on social media, "Are we going to be okay?" And someone replied, "We never were." That conversation in various forms became all we talked about as the planet went through a reset and we, as a species, were stuck in our homes or fighting being stuck in our homes, trapped with our own thoughts, our fears, and the growing discontent we saw in those around us. Before the pandemic, we thought life was having a cup of coffee to wake up, a congested commute to a job we didn't care about, debt, polluted skies, water that smells weird, ads for things we didn't know we wanted but Alexa heard us talk about, and then a glass of wine, a pill, a smoke to help us sleep. We found ways to feel okay. So many of us expected change with this pandemic, for better or worse. We braced for change. We talked about a new normal. And just as the planet started to heal, just enough to feel scabs over those long open wounds, we had a choice. Humans could also do a reset, healing the wounds of inequity, poverty, and hunger, or go back to the status quo. In our time of seclusion, we mourned, we sacrificed, we spent days in incredible need. But in our foundation, spiritually, we also started to feel scabs over long open wounds. We saw attorneys spend every waking minute helping people not get evicted. We saw doctors and nurses work around the clock to save lives. We saw people with their own struggles risk their lives to hand out food and deliver resources to others in their neighborhoods. We saw what could easily have been the new normal. Just as Mother Earth started to breathe again, we had the chance to breathe new life into ourselves as individuals and as a society. But that didn't happen. The us versus them mentality became so fractured that it became me versus you. There weren't even sides anymore. Any interaction was simply a jump to be right, to know all, to be bitter enough to not be hurt. Confrontation became our shield, but it wasn't real. In fact, that very phenomenon of isolating ourselves mentally when we had to isolate physically was our downfall. Too many fell for propaganda where freedom fighting meant fighting anything that helped all of us, while others still fought to survive. And those of us who fought side by side at one time were now battling each other. But for all the bad that continued, a miracle did come out of the rubble, a thread of hope. The virus brought into the light the fact that the powers that be, with their excuses and distractions, were wrong. They lied. This isn't just how it is. This isn't okay. There is enough money. We can have clear skies, quiet, no traffic, food, resources for everyone. The planet did a reset. It's a real, tangible thing that corrected course. And we have a completely fabricated society with completely made-up rules. We could have reset all of that. It's not impossible. No change in a society is impossible. It's just a rewrite of a history and a rulebook some other humans pulled out of their asses. The only thing that held us back from a reset that we so desperately needed was our own selves. So now we ask ourselves again, are we going to be okay? No, we are not going to be okay. We don't want to be okay. Okay means to be okay with, and we have been okay with so much less than what we deserve as human beings. So I am not okay. I am not okay with agreeing to disagree when an opinion is without facts and without empathy and affects other human beings. I am not okay with a government claiming they cannot afford to lift people up in times of struggle when they can still afford monuments for their vanity and playgrounds for their privilege. It is now more than ever every single one of us has a fight we must win. Because when you win, I win too. Our battles overlap because that is what happens when you are on the same side. It is not me versus you. It is not even us versus them. Our war is with our collective self, to battle our shared demons and be what humans are designed to be. Empathetic, bonded to each other, with ability to see the us in each individual and be a pack that survives together.